My first impression of Milwaukee was how hardworking everybody is. What I've learned so far is that that's a general characteristic of Midwestern cities, is like there's just this work ethic, like people really just want to be working, which makes me think a lot about if people want to be working, I think they just want to be involved in like something cool, you know? They want to know what their value is. But then the second thing I noticed is like how clearly divided the city is in many ways between affluent communities and non-affluent communities, and the places where there's high crime, places where the police are trolling a lot, and like the rundown areas of the city, like there's very, very clear lines. Then I talked to a lot of people about why that could be, and I mean there's some historical events that have happened that make those lines so clear, but then there's also, I think this city is a very traditional city in terms of like the cultures that that founded the city and have lived here, and they've tried to retain a lot of their traditions. In the city, you'll notice from this block to this block, it's very, very Polish, and then from this block to this block, it's very Hmong, and then from this block to this block, it's very African American. What I think about a lot is like when cultures try to retain their traditions, they want to retain them in like a pure form. You know, like people aren't very excited about blending their cultural traditions with other cultural traditions, because if you do that, that no longer is a Polish tradition, it's now a Polish Hmong tradition, and it's something very new. But I mean, that's something that our country was founded on, but communities still want to retain the old like traditions that they have. In some sense, it's beautiful because it's like building this community within itself, but in some sense, it's also alienating other people who don't feel like they have a traditional history, and there's not a lot of places for them to fit in. Which it seems like the communities in poverty are a lot of people who, for this event or that event, don't have a lot of cultural history that they can offer the city or that they can build their own community within. And so, yeah, the city seems very divided in that way. But within that, if you like look inside those communities, some really beautiful stuff happening. It just rarely escapes that community.